As an apolitical organisation, it's always very difficult to know what to say after an election result. But what we can safely say is Plunkett UK has been very clear about what is needed to make a supportive environment for rural community-owned businesses setting up and those already trading. And we've captured those here in our election manifesto asks and on the Plunkett website. And these asks have been captured from you, our members, and are, amongst other things, captured in these following 3 points. Firstly, the need for a strengthened community rights, including a community right to buy. Secondly, it's about providing finance into the sector for both start-up community businesses and existing, for example, including and maintaining and ramping up support for the Community Ownership Fund. And thirdly, it's about representing the unique needs of rural communities across the UK through a separate rural community strategy. I think it's fair to say that manifestos across the board didn't quite reflect those asks as much as Plunkett would have liked. But we now have the time and the opportunity to work with government, to work with the newly elected and re-elected MPs and policymakers across the sector to ensure that those asks and your needs are met. And that's what we'll be doing with our partners, particularly our partners from the social enterprise and community ownership sector, for example, the Future Economy Alliance, but also working with our rural partners, asking and campaigning for a rural strategy, and also cross-sector partners. So, for example, working with Anthropy, which is an organisation working with large-scale corporates, independent businesses, social enterprises and charities, and independent advocates and champions for a better Britain, better in terms of making better places for people, communities and planet. So I'd like to end on a final ask to you, our members, and that is we'd like to ask you to contact your newly elected or re-elected MP and invite them to come and see your community-owned business. It would be really good if you were able to welcome them, show them what your community business does, what its impact is and how it works. It would also be really good in doing so if you could share with them Plunkett's ask through this leaflet and through the election page on our website. We will keep in touch with you and let you know how we're getting on with our conversations, and we'll be very grateful if you would keep in touch with us too.